What's up guys, my name is Tyel, I'm an independent singer-songwriter, and today I want to walk you through how to do stacked vocals. Now you may be asking yourself, what's a stacked vocal? While you may have never heard of this term, I promise you've heard it in a bunch of songs. Stacked vocals is how people use a bunch of voices to create a harmony that supports the main melody. Alright, this is used in all sorts of pop songs, really in any genre of music that you're going to listen to, you will hear this. As long as there's vocals, you will be hearing these. And I use them in a bunch of my songs. I used to do choir, and so I love creating a vocal harmony that really is full, sounds beautiful, and supports the song, or supports the melody. And so I wanted to walk you through how I made one of mine. I'll be showing you how it sounds first off, all right? And then I'll walk you through how I did each single voice. Today, I will not be covering how to make a melody for a song. This is assuming that you already have a melody, you're starting to work on your song, and you want to figure out how do I make this sound more full, right? How do I add background vocals that will really sound beautiful with the song that I already have? Before we dive into the nitty-gritty of how to actually do this, I wanted to show you all what it sounds like so you can decide if you want to put it into your song or not. So here's a little bit of my song. It's called In the Clouds. I released it over the summer, and I really rely on these stacked vocals to carry the chorus. So here's a little bit of it, give it a listen, and if it's something that you're interested in, if you're liking how it sounds, then I'll explain how I did each part.
Oh, it's a smile in your eyes when you say those three little words. Yeah, it's a beat of my heart when it feels like it's ready to burst. Got me going around and around, living up in the clouds. I can't even see the ground. Think that I could get used to this. And around, living up in the clouds. I can't even see the ground. Think that I could get used to this.
Alright, welcome back. I hope that y'all enjoy my song. The stacked vocals is actually what created my favorite part, my favorite sound in this song. So let's jump right in. The first step of creating stacked vocals that sound fantastic is finding notes that work with your melody. Alright, so here I'm going to sing my melody. It goes, oh, it's a smile in your eyes when you say those three little words. Right, so that's what it is. Then I have to find notes that are going to work with that. The way that I do this is I play piano and guitar. So I found the chord that I was using, and I play the notes that go in that chord. Let me show you. All right, here we are with my guitar. The chords I use for this song are F, D minor, B flat, and C. All right, so I went here. Oh, it's a smile in your eyes. Let's just start right there, all right? I have to find a note that sounds good with the chords I'm using. And I just rely on my guitar to find these notes, all right? Oh, right? So we're gonna go here, and this is my F chord, right? I'm playing. Oh, it's a smile in your eyes. So I go. All of these notes I'm playing here that create the chord, they're all notes that could go with what I'm singing because they're already going, right? I'm already using these chords, so I know each of these notes is gonna sound good with my melody. All right, so I'll go, oh, 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 same note here, oh, same note here, easy, oh, so with this I can go while I'm singing, oh, it's a smile in your eyes when you say those three little words. I go, oh, on the guitar. Let's try it again. Oh, oh. All right, there's one voice or one sound that can sound good with it. All right, so now I found one of my notes that I'm gonna add into this melody, right? Into the ooh. Then let's try another one. All right. So I was playing just one of these strings the entire time. E, A, D. I was playing the D string the entire time, and it would change a little bit based on whichever chord I was playing. So let's try another string. Let's try the next string up. All right. So here it is. This is what it sounds like with each chord. All right. So here's the F, D stays the same, goes up. All right. Oh, 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 sounds, right? We got ooh, ooh, and oh. Now we got two different sounds that are we know already will sound great with what I'm singing in the melody, right? The reason, if you haven't understood this, or if I didn't explain this well before, the reason I know it'll sound good is that they're part of the chord that I'm already playing in my song, right, with my melody. Oh, it's a smile in your eyes when you say those three little words. All of the notes that are in these chords that I'm already playing are what I'm going to be singing, right? I just changed it up a little bit. We could go each string if I wanted to. I'm going to leave it there. I'm just going to do the two of these strings for now, just for simplicity, right? So now let's get to recording. And recording has a few tricks that you need to know to be able to make this sound really professional, make this sound very full. All right, so now we have the melody. We already got that right before the video started. Next step, adding or finding which notes are gonna sound good with the melody, right? We use our guitar for that. Step 3 is actually recording and making it sound full. So when you're recording background vocals, there's a few things that you need to know that are super crucial, all right? For something like this, where I'm just holding the same note or holding simple notes for a long time, it's important that I get them very basic, right? I get them spot on. There's nothing special, right? I like to do riffs, I like to do runs with my songs. This is not the place for that. All right, this is a place for something very basic where I'm doing my job correctly. Especially because I'm trying to get a bunch of different voices in there. If I'm doing all sorts of, weird things, or I have a strong vibrato going on, it's gonna sound really off. So I'm trying to get very basic, sounding great every time, right? That might take a few tries, and that's totally fine. It does for me, right? But here we go, all right? Oh, better put my headphones on. Okay, here we go. Oh, you heard, I started to kind of dip, right? I went, oh, which is not what I'm trying to do. So here's a perfect example. I'm gonna retake that, do it again, not be snappy, obviously. This is just for the recording or for the video. So let me show you one more time. We're gonna try and get this just the most perfect, simple, basic sounding notes I can get. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, oh. I think that's pretty good. All right, if I was actually recording, I'd be in my studio. My studio setup is kind of janky right now. So I'm just showing you an example, right, of what I did do and what I will do or what I would do for other songs. So I would do that over and over, and I'd make sure I got 3 good takes of each sound that I'm getting, right? So if I'm using those notes, that I would get 3 good takes of me doing those notes on 3 different tracks. All right. The other one was oh. If I'm doing that, I make sure I get 3 good takes again. And I'll show you why right now. There are 2 basic editing tools I'm going to be teaching you about right now. They're super easy to use, but extremely important if you want this to sound good. If you have questions about more complicated editing, please let me know in the comments, and I'd be happy to respond. Maybe even make another video to answer your questions. But for right now, we'll just be going over 2 things. All right. The first is panning the sound of the vocals. I told you all before that we're going to get 3 takes of each sound, right? Of each note that we're going to be doing, we would do 3 takes. And here's why. The first take is going to be right in the middle, all right? The second, we're going to pan all the way to the left. The third will pan all the way to the right. It's really an easy tool to do. I use Logic Pro, so that's what I'm showing you right now. And I'm going to show you really quick just how to pan it all the way to the left, pan it all the way to the right. All right, we got that. If you have any questions, again, in the comments, please let me know. That's super simple. And what this does is when something's panned all the way to the left, the only way you're hearing it, if you have headphones in, you would hear all the way in the left ear, all the way in the right ear, right? If people are in the car, for example, it'd be all the left speakers are playing what's in the left pan, all the right speakers are playing what's panned to the right. And then it's 50-50 split up for whatever's in the middle. right? So I'm not going to touch the one in the middle, and then we're going all the way to the left, all the way to the right. And we have different voices, right? So we have different takes. I'm not just copying and pasting, because then it doesn't sound as good, it doesn't sound as natural. So I actually got 3 different takes of each sound. And then as I do that, the reason I do that is it creates a sound of as if there are like a bunch of voices going on all around you. I don't know if you've ever been in a movie, and the Dolby around, it goes like all around you. You know what I'm saying? This is how you do that with one of your own songs. Right? Get a bunch of voices, have them panned left, right, center, and it sounds like this super full, super awesome sound. Then we're going to do this with every single sound, or with every single note that we took. The second and last part of editing that we're going to be going over today is a little bit more complicated, so I apologize for that, but I think I'll be able to explain it to y'all in a way that's fairly straightforward and that you guys can do right away after watching my video, all right? And that is pitch correction. Pitch correction is kind of like auto-tune, but you do it to an individual note. Okay, it sounds less robotic. You get to choose how much you're going to be adjusting each note so it's right on pitch. If you guys remember, I was mentioning before that you want these sounds, since there's a bunch of them, right, we're stacking them, you want them to be perfect. And as good of a singer as you are, you're probably not going to get it perfect. I've been practicing, I've been singing my whole life, and I'm far from perfect, all right? Definitely use pitch correct. I would be shocked if there's any song that you've listened to on a streaming platform that doesn't use some pitch correct. And in these stacked vocals, I actually use a lot more pitch correction than I would with my main melody, because people aren't listening to an individual voice here. They're just listening to the whole chorus. So the idea is you're going to get them right on every time, and if it takes a little bit of extra editing, that is just fine. They don't need to sound as completely natural as a melody as you want the melody to sound. Okay, so here we go. As I previously mentioned, I'm using Logic Pro for all of this. So I'm going to open up my track, turn on flex pitch, and what that allows me to do is it shows where each of the notes that I sang is in a pitch, what note it is. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'll double click each of these, well, I'll double click a lot of these little blue bars. And what that does is it moves it exactly to the closest note in the scale that I sang. And so it just improves the pitch a little bit, right? If I was way off, then honestly, you got to re-record. But hopefully I'm close to the pitch or to the note that I'm going for. And so this will just do a quick adjustment, make it a little closer. All right, then next, you'll notice that there's 6 blue dots next to each note, right? And each of them has a different function. Right now, we're going to be using, we're going to look at my computer. Right now, we're going to be using the one in the middle, the bottom middle is the vibrato one. So for some of my notes, I tried not to do any vibrato, but it's inevitable that I'll use some. So I'm going to kind of nullify the vibrato. And that means instead of going, oh, it's going to go, oh, right? Very flat. Obviously, that's exaggerated, but that's the idea. So we're going to make each of these flat. If I see that any of them have a lot of vibrato in them, then I flatten them immediately. And then I can use the gain. If any, gain is how loud any of my notes are. So if any of them are too loud or too quiet, I can make them a little louder, a little quieter. If this one's in the top middle, if I double click on my note and I'm still not liking where it's at, I can drag my note up or down a little bit. It makes this really weird sounding, just makes this weird sound, but a great tool if I want to just make a quick little adjustment. For the sake of this video, that's all we're gonna worry about when it comes to editing. So once you have this, you're just gonna put it all together, give it a listen, and it should sound fantastic. All right, if it's not sounding there yet, please, again, let me know in the comments. I'm so happy to give you personalized one-on-one feedback. So let me know if you've got a half-baked project and you want me to listen to it. I will. Test me. I will. I'll let you know what I think. But that's what I've got for today. I hope it was really helpful. Thank y'all for listening, and we'll see you all again. God bless.